In 1996, at the North American International Auto Show in Detroit, Mercedes-Benz teased us with their new take on the SUV Storm. The All-Activity Vision Concept, or AAV, rolled across the stage and everybody was impressed. Despite having military vehicle-based utility vehicles like the G-Class and Unimog in their lineup, a real-world SUV from Mercedes? This was one of the many questions the public asked. Then, in 1997, we saw a sneak peek at the M-Class and Jurassic Park guys for the Lost World installment of the ever-popular franchise. And as a bit of trivia, Jeff Goldblum, to my knowledge, still drives the ML320 that was given to him by Mercedes-Benz for his tie-in appearances in the movie. Painted in black clear coat and fitted with the ash perforated leather interior, this ML320 is very nicely equipped with a lot of ideal option packages. Despite this, even at the time of its introduction, the M-Class vehicle didn't stand up to its mark's history of being a well-built, well-equipped luxury vehicle. Interior and exterior build quality, with the interior especially, was less than what people expected, and even the automotive press were not impressed with the lack of Mercedes-Benz standard of quality. That said, the W163 received the 1997 Motor Trend Truck of the Year award, as well as the World Car of the Year award in 1999. While all M320s and all M-Classes in general were built at the Mercedes-Benz U.S. International Manufacturing Plant in Vance, Alabama, for a short while in the European market, Magna Steyr in Graz, Austria, produced them while European production was moved. The first ML320 rolled out of the assembly line on February 9, 1997. The W163 features a body-on-frame chassis with the full-time automatic 4Matic all-wheel drive system paired with the 4ETS system. It has a locking low range by a dashboard-mounted switch as the only driver control. The system uses a series of 3 locking differentials in the front, rear, and center with 2-speed dual-range Borg-Warner 4409 transfer cases. The 4-well electronic traction system, or 4ETS, simulates 3 differential locks on all 3 open differentials by aggressively braking or spinning 1 or more wheels. And power comes from a 3.2-liter aluminum block and head single overhead cam V6 engine. This is a 90-degree V6 and the first ever V6 from Mercedes, and features 3 valves per cylinder with 18 valves and fracture split forged connecting rods. It creates 215 horsepower at 5,600 RPM, 233 pound-feet of torque at 3,000 RPM. Road and Track magazine in 1997 road tested the ML320 for 0 to 60 miles per hour in 9.2 seconds, 0 to 80 miles per hour in 16.4 seconds, and a quarter mile was reached in 17 seconds at 81.5 miles per hour. Top speed is electronically limited to 112 miles per hour. And the M-Class features a 19.2 US gallon fuel capacity and consumes 6.3 gallons per 100 miles driven, with an estimated total driving range of 345 miles. EPA fuel economy figures are 15 miles per gallon city, 18 miles per gallon highway, and 16 miles per gallon combined. On my 20-mile mixed driving test, I achieved an average of 16.3 miles per gallon. And in North America, the sole available transmission was the electronically controlled 5-speed 5G-tronic automatic with manual shift capability. Despite the depiction in the Lost World Jurassic Park, no manual transmission was offered in North America. And taking a look around the rear of the M-Class is probably the most boring from a styling standpoint. Very minivan-like, with triangular-shaped taillights are unmistakably Mercedes, especially during this time frame of almost 20 years ago. The relatively flat rear hatch with almost no character lines present are very conservative in style and almost minivan-like as stated before. The taillights are incandescent, and this vehicle features rear fog lamps as well. And moving along the profile of the M-Class, it has a squat, upright, and compact appearance, and despite this, the interior packaging is actually clever and disguises a short wheelbase perfectly. Because of this, the M-Class has great ground clearance and water fording capabilities, as well as on-road maneuverability. The M-Class Mercedes sits on a 110-inch wheelbase and has an overall length of 180.6 inches with an overall width of 72.2 inches and a height of 69.9 inches. It has a ground clearance of 8.4 inches and a water fording depth of 20 inches at 5 miles per hour. For those interested, off-road specs are 26-degree approach angle, a 26-degree departure angle, and a ramp breakover angle of 17.2 degrees. Steering is hydraulically assisted, speed-sensitive rack and pinion with 3.6 turns lock-to-lock and a 37-foot turning radius. Wheels are 16-inch, silver-painted, 5-spoke aluminum with 245/75 R16 Bridgestone Blizzak DM-V2 tires. Brakes are 4-wheel disc with 11.9-inch vented rotors up front and 11.2-inch rotors in the rear. Brakes are assisted by the Ford ETS system, ABS, and traction control. They can bring the M-Class from 60 miles per hour to 0 in 142 feet. And looking around the front is where the M-Class really shines. Unmistakably a Mercedes, even by today's standards, with the W220 S-Class style pointed headlights, flowing into the large opening hood and grille with a prominent 3-pointed star front and center. Headlights on this example are halogen, however xenon high-intensity discharge headlamps were optional. Alright, for our driving impressions. Overall, I actually like the way they ride. It's pretty controlled. The steering feedback is pretty good. Ride quality for the type of vehicle that this is actually pretty good. It could stand to have some improvement in the acceleration points, but overall I like it. Alright, we're going to take a look inside. This vehicle is equipped with remote key access. It does not have smart key access, however. And opening the door, it shows a pretty Mercedes-Benz-esque interior, albeit not as well built as like the S-Class cars would be. As you can see, this vehicle is equipped with a sunroof. It was an optional equipment package. And on the doors are unmistakably Mercedes with the separate door pulls, the gather leather side impact door airbags. You've also got some walnut wood trim with chrome door handles. This vehicle is equipped with the Bose audio system, and you've also got a polished stainless steel Mercedes-Benz tread plate, 8-way power driver and passenger seat, both with 3 passenger memories. On the dashboard, you do have probably the most flimsy cup holders ever created. And take a look at the seats. Even though they are a thin shell design, they're actually very comfortable. They're pretty supportive. They could stand to have a little bit more lateral support, but the lumbar support and overall comfort is pretty good. You do have height and tilt adjustable head restraints, perforated leather inserts, and the seats are heated. Alright, and pan through the interior and show more details. As you can see here, nice fluid, easy to use power assisted steering. It is a tilt and telescoping steering column with leather wrapped steering wheel rim. You have multi-function controls for headlamp controls, as well as your brights and your turn signal indicators. You have your cruise control stalk, which can easily be confused for the turn signal indicator at a glance. And then you have your wiper control stalk on the right hand side. Very clear, easy to read, very typical Mercedes-Benz gauges. You do have your coolant and fuel level, speedometer, and rev counter. Looking over the top of the dash, it is all matte black, so it has very low glare and bright sunlight. At the top, you have 3 distribution vents for your HVAC system. The outer 2 could be closed and the center one remains open. You do have the optional navigation system here. It also features a 6-disc CD changer. It was provisioned for telephone use. And opening the lid reveals the cassette tape. While this vehicle does have navigation, the navigation disc was not installed. That is the low range switch, and you have your front and rear fog lamp controls here. And down below, very easy to use climate controls. You have your recirculating AC, fan speed, climate control, and your panel distribution. Heated seat controls below, your rear wiper washer control, electronic stability control, as well as your passenger side heated seat control. Moving down the center console, more gloss burl walnut trim continues, and very 70s-esque Mercedes are the window switches on the center console. You've also got your power mirror controls, your door locks, as well as your window lockouts. Nice spacious center armrest with padded armrest. Has a nice deep storage well. And here is your power folding mirror switch. Alright, looking over the top, we have overhead reading and map lights. We've also got a 3-channel HomeLink universal garage door opener, the microphone receiver for your voice control, power sunroof control, as well as your trip computer control. It's a pretty simple readout. It's a very basic LCD display. Not a whole lot of information, but pretty usable anyway. Automatic dimming rear view mirror does feature integrated map lights. And sun visors also feature illuminated vanity mirrors. The sun visors swing out, but they do not slide out. And overhead, you have dampened overhead assist handles. And in this driving clip, we are actually entering on a downhill acceleration ramp for the interstate. Acceleration to that is actually a little bit more improved, but you know this vehicle has a little over 212,000 miles, so parasitic power losses are going to be present. Overall, I actually like the way this vehicle rides and drives. The vehicle was actually previously owned by a certified Mercedes-Benz technician, so all of the upkeep and maintenance work was done by him. Overall, the vehicle actually rides and drives pretty well. Not anything like a modern-day Mercedes, but it's actually a very agreeable and very livable. Alright, now we're going to take a look at the rear seat. And opening the doors reveals a pretty nice and spacious rear seat passenger area. The rear seat doors carry the same theming as the front seat doors with a gathered vinyl trim for the door-mounted impact airbags. Gone are the individually adjustable seats, and in favor are traded for a 60-40 split folding seat. They still retain the seat back recline feature, as well as the height and rake adjustable head restraints for all passenger seats. You do have a fold-down center armrest, however, it is devoid of any cup holders or storage. Overhead, you have reading lights, coat hooks, and assist handles. You've also got height adjustable seat belts. You've got your power window switches. You've also got a little ash receiver here. And your cup holders actually fold out of this console fascia here. You've also got seat back mat pockets. And folding the seats is very easy, just locating the little plunger stop at the top of the seat and pulling the seat back forward. It'll fold the seat pretty flat, however, it is not flush with the cargo area. It does have a drop-down panel to keep things from falling in between the cracks, however. And lifting the seat back up will lock it back in place. And as we continue to drive, I notice that even at 65 or 70 miles per hour, the wind noise is actually pretty well insulated, so cabin noise is actually at a minimum. Something that even with an SUV with that large open cargo area, is kind of hard to accomplish. But overall, we're cruising pretty nicely. We're at a steady rate of about 70 miles per hour, running about 2,500 RPM on the interstate, and overall it's a very comfortable ride, very nice ride. It's a little harsh at some times, but it's an older suspension design. Alright, let's take a look at the luggage area. Opening the luggage area is easy. Underneath the license plate frame, there is a handle that will actually unlatch the hatch lift gate. And take a look inside. It's actually a pretty nicely spacious luggage area. It's a nice load flat floor. As you can see, it does have provisional hooks for what would be an optional third row seat. However, seat belts are not installed back here, so that was not included. In this left side storage bin, you do have the Mercedes-Benz first aid kit. You've got tie-down hooks, 12-volt power point, and in this right side storage bin, you have a little swing-out arm that locks into place with a rotational nut. Once it's completely unlocked, this little frame swings out and has access to your 6-disc CD changer. And behind that, you have your jack and tools. Alright, so overall cargo capacity is 40.4 cubic feet with the rear seats upright and locked. With the rear seats folded, that capacity expands to 81.2 cubic feet. Alright, and this does conclude our in-depth walk-around look at the Mercedes-Benz M-Class. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/neighborhoodcarreviews and Instagram at BrensoJ1. Of course, as always, thanks for watching.